Uh, so we're back. Uh,
Hi.
I I have created, probably not created, but I mixed up a new drink with limoncello and tonic water, and it's delightful.
And we don't have our guest like we thought we would at the end of last episode because Tiny me got wibbly wobbly and it's a different day now.
Yeah, Candy's a time lord. That's
I'm
what it,
a I'm a chaos generator.
there is no doubt of that. I mean, usually my chaos is it's like fun and cheeky shenanigans.
Mine is it
Yours is a cat
remains to
pushing a
be
glass off
determined.
a table.
Yeah. Well, sometimes. Sometimes it's a cat chasing a bug and it's interesting to watch.
So we are back either way, and we are here to talk about staircases in the woods.
Staircases in the woods, although doors in the woods. That's an
Doors in the
interesting.
woods is kind of like
That's taken my brain places.
well, it's kind of together. Like there are
Yeah.
doorways in the woods too, that appear and disappear.
Right.
So we'll
And
start with the history of
yeah.
where it got crazy spooky. Go ahead, Candy.
So, oh, is this like my job? I'm the historian now.
You're the historian now. Go for
The
it. I'm gonna
historian now.
drink this delightful drink.
Okay, so in 2019, there was a subreddit from this guy claiming he was an actual member of a search and rescue team that went to look for people who got lost on stairways in the woods. Was that dramatic enough? Was
It
that good?
was. It was very good.
All right. So anyway, he did claim that that was an actual subreddit that occurred, and from there it just like took off, and so there were stories and stories and stories, and who knows what's true and what's people making it up to get attention. But there are story after story of people coming upon these stairways, and it's not just like a staircase that goes up 6 or 7 steps to like a door or whatever. It's towering stairways that go up into the sky and end at nothing. Um, and they came from all over the world. Most of them that I have seen come from Pennsylvania, as a matter of fact. And there was a story about it. Here's my favorite. My favorite story, not the story itself, but my favorite location came from Erie, Pennsylvania,
It's eerie.
because of course it did. But yeah, so they most often appear at night, and you can never find them again. And people apparently go missing on them. And there's a search and rescue team that's highly hush hush, which I find,
Take it with a grain of salt.
yeah, a little on my skeptical side. Um, that's like being a freaking door gunner on the space shuttle. For my military friends, you'll understand. I was a door gunner on the space shuttle, man.
Sure you were. Sure you were, champ. You did good. You did real good.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of interesting story. And something that I don't think a lot of people realize. So, I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty of late 1700s into the 1920s and 30s architecture and crazy shit that rich people did because
I
they had
know. Crazy
too
people
much
that
money.
rich people did is one of my favorite subjects.
Yes. So there were things called follies in gardens. And a lot of these places that are now absolutely overgrown wood spaces were playgrounds for the rich at one point. So upstate New York, big time. In fact, there is a lovely, lovely staircase that's in the woods that you can find during the day. It's on a hiking trail up there. And it was to a woman's mansion. That so it's got this big giant staircase that goes up and then it just ends because her house like fell apart. And it was actually a staircase that went up to a roof deck up on the second level. The house is no longer there. The foundation's gone. Everything's overgrown, but the stairs remain. And everybody encounters this and goes, "Ooh, where are these stairs from?" And well, they're from that. They're from a house
Well,
that was actually there.
and that's a thing to consider. Like 17th, 18th, 19th century, their constructions lasted.
Oh yeah,
They
They,
didn't have cheap throw together construction houses like we do.
no.
They had construction.
Yes, it was built to last, and as if the weird staircases standing long after the house is gone wasn't weird enough, sometimes they just built random staircases and castles and towers in the woods to highlight their garden.
My favorite part, they would hire people to be hermits to live in or near these structures,
Yes,
just to be like, look, I have a human that
I have a pet.
does
I have a
nothing
pet
and
hermit.
I pay him to do nothing. Like,
I have a pet hermit who lives on the
yeah.
property. But yeah, I mean, they did like really weird stuff like that. And with this lady who built her mansion, her summer mansion, she was a designer in New York, and she built this house, and she threw a bunch of parties and just blew through all of her cash. And the house fell into disrepair, and she kind of abandoned it, and nobody else picked it up, and then it got taken over by like the state. And so there's just a set of woods that's a lovely staircase. People take a lot of pictures of it, but that is the story behind that staircase. Additional staircases and towers and things are follies. They actually have an official name. Little temples also, like Romanesque temples, are follies.
Still, though, something like coming from out west, if you found something like that in the woods, it's because somebody actually was like using it.
Oh yeah.
Because the rich people hadn't quite made it that far with their dumbness. And when they did come out to do rich people shit, it was like ski and shoot our animals, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
as one
as
does.
like you do when you're rich
Like
and you
you
can get
do when
the jet
you've got
off to shoot
nothing
a
better to do with
buffalo
your
or
money,
whatever.
like altruism.
But coming out here now and going on my wanderings and stuff with the kids, it's still a little bit unsettling to come across something. There's in our wildlife refuge, there's a spot where they've set up, I think it's 12 or 13 logs
Mm.
as if they're chairs, and they are near like lean-tos that are built out of twigs and stuff. And I swear to you, I used to tell the kids that it was like where witches used to live. At Halloween, they actually have a spooky forest that you walk through, and that's where the witches hang out.
Well, I mean, you're out by Montauk, so
Mhm.
there's there's a whole
There's a whole bunch of stuff that's
there's a
weird out there.
Pandora's box just waiting to be unpacked out of that place.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm looking forward to going into the woods by my house again to see what I can find.
yeah, and I mean, like Long Island's always been kind of like a playground of the rich and famous too. So
Hmm. Well, and I'm out in the Hamptons,
yeah,
and the woods by me are the Pine Barrens, and
yeah,
so let's see what kind of nonsense we can find. Yay, rich people
exactly,
shit.
exactly. And usually, like out here, when you're walking through the woods and you find patches of daffodils, but nothing else, that's when you know there was a house there at one point.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like at the end of the driveway or whatever, or the garden, or
Yeah. Like
yeah, good point.
wherever there was a house set up like eons ago, they planted daffodils.
As they
And
come back, and
they
yeah,
come back, even after the house is long gone. And it's not like they really dug out foundations very much for just like old farmhouses, and they were just the old clapboard farmhouses. Like, they built cheap for
but the
farmers.
stairs are sturdy,
The stairs are sturdy usually. Sometimes what happened is they moved the farmhouse. So
and
they
they
took
left the
all the
stairs
materials and just reused them someplace else, but the daffodils
there.
stayed. So
Hmm.
it's kind of interesting, especially like where you've got fieldstone and stuff like that. They took all that with them and just
Hmm.
moved it someplace else. So it may be that it wasn't abandoned; it was just moved.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So there's lots of stuff like that in the hills and valleys of Pennsylvania.
But you have to wonder, like I brought up the witch story, you have to wonder how many people's mothers started these urban legends just by saying a silly story to entertain their children one day.
Mhm.
And then the kids go and tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and then it turns into local lore among the children, and they tell their kids. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah,
then it becomes a thing just because a mom and their kids were out on a walk one day bored.
yeah. Or like there's a place out by this park that we'd go to, and it's literally this tiny little strip of forest, and it's got the daffodils and stuff like that, and it's got a lot of deadfall trees and a lot of really big trees, but it's this weird little strip, and every time I go near it I just feel weird, and I always want to go in and explore because I love a good exploration in forests, and there is just something about this strip of trees that I don't like, and I stay out of.
Like, there's a spot, it's one of those spots that just feels bad.
Yeah.
There's a spot
And
like that a few miles away where I I was noticing it, but it was like nighttime. I was like, well, maybe I'm just like doing my weird serial killer running away with me thing. But we passed her in the daytime. It still felt bad. And then I went through it with a friend of mine, and she was like, don't ever go. She's from here. She's like, don't ever go in those woods, especially at night. So it's like a local thing
oh,
here about that patch of woods. There's
yeah, I
something
don't know what it
bad in
is with that patch of woods, especially since it's surrounded by like ball fields and stuff, and it's some pretty prime real estate
there. Mm-hmm.
to make more ball field or recreation space, and it's not touched, and it
Is it
hasn't been.
wetlands?
Um, I don't know because I haven't really climbed through it, but there's no wetlands around it.
Mm.
Which usually when you've got a wetland in Pennsylvania, there's swampy area around it, and there's no swampy area. In fact, it's pretty dry. So it's really strange that it's just this patch that's untouched and nobody walks near it. You
That is
know,
weird.
it's like it's mowed all the way around it, but not trimmed into it. I mean, it's just rampant with poison ivy and honeysuckle and stuff like that, and all the deadfall.
That would be interesting to find out what the story is on that. Like, was there
It was
like
probably just farmland.
one particular farmer that wouldn't sell to the city or something? Like, and
Yeah, I don't know.
then they off themselves. Like, I can make up a whole thing. I'll
Oh
give you the
yeah, I
story on it.
mean, the second I saw the daffodils, I was like, yeah, there was something there at some point, but
Mm.
why is it that weird feeling right now?
Yeah, I'm not good with that like you, but stuff like that I can make up stories for.
I can make up stories to scare the heck out of my kid to stay away from it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy to announce I'm still not allergic to poison ivy. I just pulled a bunch of it out of the front.
Oh goodness, lady.
Yeah, yeah. I can't stand it when stuff starts getting like too overgrown. And yesterday I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna take care of this. And I just went out front and I just started pulling, and there was poison ivy all underneath it. I was like, yeah, we're getting rid of you. I yanked it all out and then,
Oh goodness.
went inside and just washed off with some Dawn dishwashing liquid.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, there we go.
I'm fine.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing to see here.
Nope. I don't react to it. And just to be on
I
the safe side, I even went and took a shower just to make sure and threw everything right into the wash.
I don't know if I do because if I've ever touched it, I didn't notice I touched it.
I
But
didn't
I've never knowingly touched it.
When I was a kid, I used it to climb a tree to go see a bird nest.
Of course, like,
Of
duh.
course, like you do.
What it's
And
for.
yeah, it was like a dead tree, and of course I'm climbing up it on poison ivy, and I've used poison sumac to climb up hillsides, because it was a steep hillside, and so I just grabbed hold of it. Poison oak, same thing, no reaction. Tomatoes, however, tomato plants. I can't really touch tomato plants because it feels like a chemical burn. It doesn't make a mark or anything. It just makes
Really?
me feel like my arm's on fire and it's
Oh,
all swollen, even though it's not. There's like no visible anything going on.
that's interesting.
But yeah, poison ivy. Tried it out yesterday just to get rid of it before Ty went in there and we had to end up in the ER again.
Ty has been blinded.
Yeah, he's really allergic to it. Like crazy allergic. So anytime he even like looks at poison ivy, it's a trip to the hospital.
So we have found his Achilles heel.
It is definitely his Achilles heel, along with, moving something out of place that he just moved.
Yeah.
Or, writing I heart you in the dust on the TV stand.
Footprints in the carpet.
Footprints in the carpet is fun. Sometimes I like to write out entire messages.
The look on his face, though, when he came in that day and we were both laying on the carpet, he was trying so hard to be pleasant because I was a guest, but internally I could tell he was nuking in his mind.
It's true. He was.
He did a good job, but
He did. He
never lie to a psychic.
yeah, he shoved all that anger down.
He did. I was proud of him. That was
And
some
it's
hospitality.
well because he knows that it's unreasonable anger. Like you can't vacuum the carpet and
But
expect nobody to ever walk on it
but
again.
it speaks to his character and sense of politeness because I was in the man's house and I know, it speaks
Yeah.
volumes about him.
Well, I think he was also probably amused that we were making carpet angels, but there might have been that.
Look at these middle-aged women on my floor.
Kicking their arms and legs like they're making snow angels in the carpet.
We were left unsupervised. These are
This
the
is what we
things that
do,
happen.
children. Never let us unsupervised into your house. We will make carpet angels.
We will make carpet angels and probably eat all your good snacks.
There's that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If nobody tells us not to, we're gonna eat the snacks.
Yeah, especially if it's ice cream.
We gotta watch the kids.
Yeah. My downfall lately is frozen fruit.
That's good stuff.
Mhm. I had some frozen raspberries today that were just heavenly.
I had a chocolate milkshake.
I'm having mac and cheese for dinner because I'm an adult.
I enjoy mac and cheese.
Hmm. No,
There,
but like that's dinner. It's not a side, it's dinner.
I see nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like three hogs. It actually moved down the block from me now.
No.
Yeah, so I can walk to it now. I mean, I could always walk to it if I was really, feeling
Oh,
frisky, but yeah, now it's like right down the block. I'm in trouble, Candy. I love me some barbecue.
I'll be in, yeah, because AJ and I were going to visit for a while longer, as long as the kids are getting along. And
Yeah.
I see that happening at least once as a family meal. Yes.
Although, Scooch isn't really big on it. Like,
AJ just likes food.
yeah. I mean, Scooch likes food in general. He would probably like three hogs if he found something that was kind of his speed. I did
What's,
find out they had a mini hog trow, which is like
oh,
this big instead of this big.
we're never ordering that. We're getting the real deal.
Oh
But
yeah, it's equally the real deal. In fact, it's much more manageable, and I could almost only eat half of it again.
really,
Yeah, it's just
we're in
crammed
trouble,
full.
Susie.
Huh?
We're in trouble,
I
Susie.
know, I know. And they
Oh.
have trivia night on Wednesdays.
And we have a built-in babysitter. AJ's old enough to babysit.
That is true.
Don't know that I'd trust him, but he is old enough.
Yeah, no. Brian kind of follows the leader unless he gets an idea, and then he is very convincing when he lies.
Wonder where he gets it.
I don't lie though. At least,
True.
yeah, I tend not to lie at all, and it's kind of a fault of mine. Uh, I probably
And
should start, but I don't.
yeah,
Like
because
if
if I
I'm
think your shoes are tacky, I'm telling you.
speaking of shoes, I found fishnet combat boots. What? They're
I
on their
found some
way.
shoes. I found some shoes that are on the way. They're sneakers that are supposed to. They have like a honeycomb sole and stuff, and they're supposed to help with back and leg pain.
I saw
But
you
I'm
post
looking
about them.
at, yeah, you saw where I found them, right? And who I found them through.
Yep,
Don't they look awesome?
they do.
I got
Except
black ones though, not purple.
I usually just wear Converse, like Chuck Taylor's.
Those I can't because I can't feel my feet. I need something that has more soul to it
Yeah,
because if I step on something, I'm not going to know.
yeah, that's true. The The combat boots are freaking amazing.
Nice.
They're they've got like they've got the solid sole, and it's a really good chunky sole.
Hmm.
And then it's got the toe part is covered over with like pleather, and then the heel part is covered over with pleather, and then
Hmm.
the lace part is covered over in pleather, and then the rest of it is just fishnet.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
I found some that have like purple moons and stars and stuff on them. They're fabric. You want to see them?
I saw those. Yeah, let's
They're from Hot Topic.
nice. I did see them on Hot Topic.
Yeah. I was like,
Judge
oh,
as you will, youngsters, but we shop at Hot Topic.
I'm like, oh no, I'm a mall goth.
You know what though? I mean, after
They've
having to
got good
travel to
stuff
like
now,
New York
though.
and every oh, I love them. I
Aren't they
love them
great?
so much.
I love them so much too, as is evidence.
They're
They're
awesome.
really cute and they're comfy,
Yeah.
and they have the sole we like.
Oh, I love the boot sole.
Yep.
Nice. The only
So
time I can get them in Doc Martens now is if I get steel toes.
yeah,
And I'm like,
and
I don't mind the added 20 pounds of steel toes, but I don't like not being able to wiggle my toes in steel
yeah,
toes.
exactly. That's a problem.
That's my main issue with steel toes.
I
Not
just
that I
can't
might
find.
get crushed or something like that. No, it's I can't wiggle.
No, 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 nothing at all like that.
I can't
Gotta
break
wiggle the
in the
toesies.
toe. Yeah, I gotta wiggle my toes.
I
So,
understand.
but yeah, getting back on track.
Back onto what we're supposed to be talking
Yeah,
about.
the doors and the stairs and such.
Yes.
I did see somebody post that they found a door in the woods, like
Interesting.
some rando door.
See, I would be like, oh, if I step on this door, like if I step on this door or step on the stair or open this door, I'm the kind of person that automatically thinks it's going to take me to an alternate dimension or an alternate timeline or something
Yeah, it's like
because
you want an
stairs and
80s
doorways
cartoon.
lead somewhere.
Yeah, it's like you want an 80s cartoon plot. That's how you get an 80s cartoon plot.
Yes, but and that's probably why I have the idea. But I mean,
Yeah, like I mean, look at Dungeons and Dragons. They just took a freaking roller coaster and ended up in another place.
yeah,
Like, dude, my mother loved all those cartoons. Land of the Lost, D&D,
Land of the Lost is great. My
Thundercat.
favorite, it was a '90s one though. I think Gargoyles.
She loved Gargoyles too, yes. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like all of the cartoons that she loved, it was the kids getting lost in an alternate dimension.
The cheesy adventure ones.
Well, it was like creepy. I was like, Mom, what are you trying to tell us?
I don't know. My mom really loved Disney movies, and you know what they do to mothers in Disney movies, and kids have to grow up alone. So what was she saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Why does
the
Walt
moms in
Disney hate
Disney.
mothers?
Well, I mean, like the moms in Disney movies were basically the red shirts of Star Trek.
Yes, they were either evil or they died.
Mhm.
Purple.
Well, it was always the stepmothers that were evil.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, the biological mother was always gone somewhere,
And
somehow.
she was an angelic being of pure perfection.
Of course.
Of course.
Like, how do you live up to that? You don't live up to that.
Nobody could live up to my son's sainted mother.
My child and I walked all over town today, and it was hilarious because I'm literally walking with a box with the words fragile written across it.
That's Italian. You knew what was going to happen.
Tucked under my arm,
It's a
fragile.
major prize.
And we get down to the post office, and they still have a mask mandate at the post office. So I was like, okay. So I had masks in my pocket just in case. And so I give one to my son, and we walk in. He's like, "Why do we have to wear a mask?" I'm like, "Because you're not vaccinated." I was like, "You're too young,
Mhm.
so you're not vaccinated, and I'm wearing it because you're wearing it. So here we go." And we go walking in, and we're hanging out waiting. And I finally get up to the counter, and the guy literally looks at fragile written across the box and says, "Is there anything fragile, perishable, blah blah blah?" I'm like, "Yes, fragile." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm gonna hit this yes button."
Yeah. They have a script and they can't dictate it from it.
I
They're like
know, I
robots.
know. I
Every time I go in the post office, I want to perform a Turing test.
I feel for them because I worked as a cashier at Kmart, and it's
Yeah.
you get in that zone of just scanning stuff and
Mhm.
bringing it up automatically, and then all of a sudden somebody throws you off by handing you 2 pennies, and then they're like, "Can't you
Yeah.
do math?" And it's like, you know what? No, because they're
I
not
can't.
paying me to do math.
Yeah.
They're paying me to be a robot. It's like, had I not been zoning out completely while I was ringing up your order, I probably could do math, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Move along. Jackass.
Yeah. Can't math today. I'm at work.
It's like I'm getting 4.25 an hour.
Yeah.
Do I look like I'm gonna math? No. It's like I applied because I wanted to stock overnight. I ended
Yeah.
up on the cash register.
Yeah.
Do I look like I want to math?
I didn't want to people.
Exactly. I
And
didn't
yet
want
here I am
people.
doing it.
Ugh. So yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
the same people that find staircases in the woods and go walking up and taking pictures on them.
That would be awesome. I would love to see pictures of your staircases and doors in the woods. We could start a little gallery on our on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't actually have any pictures, believe it or not.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah,
The people might.
yeah, the people out there. Put them in
Yeah,
the
the
comments.
people.
The people.
We have a Facebook page, people.
You do. Two women
You-
left unsupervised.
yeah. It's like it's a brand or something. Like, oh my God, is that our name?
It is.
It is. Um, Again, back on track now that we derailed a second time. What are we going to talk about next time? Do we know yet, or is it to be determined?
We'll figure it out.
Okay,
Give us
to
a
be
topic.
determined. Oh yeah, give us a topic. Any
Yeah.
topic would be cool.
Give us a topic to like drunk ramble about. We'll
Oh yeah,
get
I
drunk.
have wine. I need to drunk ramble. Stay tuned.
Yeah. This is only glass one. I'm good for at
I got
least
a bottle in the fridge chilling. Maybe I'll have it with my mac and cheese.
classy bitch.
I know, right? As she taps her little scrawny goth fingers together in delight.
Her little doll hands.
My plan has come to fruition.
On a quick side note, we watched Luca today, the Disney movie.
How was it?
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I honestly was like cackling, and my son could not figure out why, because every time,
Well, no spoilers, 'cause I actually want to watch it.
well, the girl Julieta, she keeps saying like, she says Santa, and then she'll throw in like some sort of cheese. And so it's like Santa Mozzarella and Santa Ricotta. And I'm like,
Oh my God. That's fantastic.
and I was like, I'm sitting there laughing, and Sketch is like, why are you laughing? I'm like, because she's saying Saint Cheese, like, all these different kinds of
Yeah.
cheeses.
Saint
Santa
cream cheese.
Parmigiana.
Saint gorgonzola.
She did. She said Santa Gorgonzola, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
I was like, that's hysterical. And it took me a minute to catch on that that's what she was doing, because
Hmm.
like we had the fan on us because it got a little stuffy in here, and so we had
Right.
the fan turned on, and I couldn't hear it 100%. And so, I'd hear her say Santa and then whatever, and so I was like, okay, whatever, Santa Maria, yes, just like all the Italians say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, we don't. But all of a sudden, I realized she's saying like Santa Parmigiana, Santa Ricotta.
That's fabulous.
I was like, that is amazing.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It was a great, great movie. Very
Nice.
entertaining, super cute,
Very cool.
and it's just adorable. I I enjoyed it entirely, and I even gasped a few times because I was like, "What
Aw.
about?" And then, of course, there's the Italian grandmother who's just like slappy as hell, and I'm like, "Oh man, she is a pip, just like every Italian grandmother you've ever known."
Oh yeah.
Oh, she is the quintessential Italian grandmother.
Nice. I
So,
love the Italian nanas.
oh my god, they're amazing. They'll smack you with a flip flop
Yeah. Or a spoon or whatever comes
or
to
a
hand.
spoon. Yeah, usually wooden spoons was my mom's preferred.
Slotted wooden spoon was my mom's because I was much bigger than her. And
My mom got one that was
hard-headed.
about that big.
Believe it or not, I was hard-headed.
What?
I know.
No.
I know.
And on that note,
On that note, like, subscribe, comment, tell us your stories about woods and stairs and
or wooden
doors
spoons.
and or woodsmen.
Lumberjack.
Lumberjacks, yeah.
Flannel
Or
men.
just give us ideas for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.